Hi everyone, this is your host and your coach, Mary Ayers, and welcome to today's show. I am really up today because I love saying yes. And today you're going to learn how to be able to say yes more often. That's what the whole show is about. And I'm telling you, yes is going to get you into motion. And I'm going to show you that we don't have to say yes to everything. We can say yes to a little bit of things. And there's a way of doing that, and it's what it does for you that is going to be so good. I'm sorry, I'm beside myself today because this is just a up possibility show. And it's going to be the answer for many of you who are really stuck or you find yourself procrastinating. It's just going to be your new way of being. But let me tell you first, yes wasn't always my first answer. You know, if you've been following me, you know that like many of you, I've been ruled by anxiety and fear for most of my life. And even though I've done a lot of things, and this is where we have that commonality, I have accomplished a lot. There's no doubt about it. I am going to celebrate that as well as you should. But the way I've gone about that has been pushing myself through the fear. And that usually started with a big no. In other words, I always said no when something would come up. Do you want to do something? And my first was, no, I can't do that. Please don't make me do that. It's too scary. And that no was coming from a place of trying to tap the brakes before being able to think about something and then coming to perhaps a different conclusion. But my first response was always no, and the no was being driven by fear. And I'll tell you, that's one of the biggest changes that tapping has made for me in my life, is that it's made it possible for me to be able to say more yeses, because when I'm not walking around in fear all the time, I've been more open to saying yes. And being able to say yes is like love words to the universe. I mean, it's like speaking the universe's language when we say yes, because yes is not fraught with fear. It doesn't mean you're going to be fearless when you say yes. I'm not trying to sell you on a program where you're going to say yes and it's going to be fear-free. What I am saying is that when we start to say yes, I can say a timid yes, I can say a low yes, but yes is the language of the universe, and the universe lights up and smiles when we say yes. Even if our yes has some apprehension in it, even if our yes says, I'm not quite sure, but I'm pretty sure, and I'm going to at least say yes, and then I'm going to do my work and get ready. And it's my work that I'm going to do so that I can say a bigger yes, so I can stand in that yes, so I can really embrace who I am as a person who now says yes. So, gosh, I can hear this already. It's like all I've said through this entire time has been yes, 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 yes. But, of course, that's the name of the show today, so what can I say? So why do we say no? We said fear. That's an obvious one. And let me say, I'm not saying that we should say yes to everything. There is a time to say no. There's a time for us to have those boundaries. But what I did in a show past, which was on setting boundaries, was I showed you a way that even when we're saying no, we can find a way to say yes, maybe to something, some part of it. But there is a time for us to say no, and some people do need to strengthen that new muscle. There's a way to do that that gives you permission to say yes more often. So it's about being able to say, what do I focus on? What am I focused on? And when we're saying no, we're focused on fear, we're focused on protection. Sometimes no's come from a place of feeling inadequate or fear that will be seen too much. There's a possibility of being criticized, a possibility of being judged if we say yes and we put ourselves out there. We may not feel ready enough to say yes. And all of these things are good for you to know. They're good information for you. Exactly why am I saying no? Those are things that you can tap around whether they're beliefs about not being deserving, about not being willing to accept help, to receiving. So there is some value in understanding where our no's are coming from. However, I prefer to play on the side of saying yes and then figuring out what's getting in the way of us being really able to embrace a full hold on that yes term. So how do we learn to say yes? Just try it on. Say yes. Think of something that you want to do, whether it's live in a particular way. Look at that amount of money you want to make. If you want to find the right person, a soulmate in your life, I want you to really feel the feeling of being able to say, yes, I really want that. Now, those are words, but the feeling you're going to look for is how congruent do those words feel to you? When you say, yes, I am ready for that, yes, bring it. Can you feel it in your body at a 10? 10 is absolutely 100%. Or is it somewhere around a 3? Is it somewhere around a 4? We want to strengthen that yes. It's a good place to start. As you measure that your level of yes, what you're doing is you're finding out where you are. And every time you strengthen, it's like a light growing brighter. The universe hears it better. It understands that you're ready to receive because it's part of you. You're really able to step into it. And we're okay with those faint yeses. Can I say yes? And can it be at a 4? 4 is you getting ready. And we're going to do some tapping about that because, again, we want to have a stronger yes. You want to get closer and closer and closer to a strong yes. So let's start at the karate chop. You're going to look at that thing you want, write it down, look at it, see it in your mind if you're there. Say, yes, I am ready for this. Feel it in your body. How true does it feel? Write that number down or be conscious of your number, and then we're going to start at the karate chop. Even though I'm not feeling a strong yes right now, but I want it to be stronger. I think I do. I'm accepting myself where I am right now. Even though I'm surprised that my yes isn't stronger. I really wanted that. At least I thought I did. And that's okay. Now that I know, I'm doing something about this. I'm doing whatever it takes to get a strong yes now. Even though my yes isn't as strong as I want it to be. For whatever reason, I'm choosing to strengthen it now. Eyebrow. I don't have a very strong yes. Side of the eye. I want to be ready. Under the eye. I thought I wanted that thing. Under the nose. I'm a little shocked. On the chin. My no seems to be stronger. Collarbone. I seem to have some apprehensions about having that thing. Under the arm. I'm not as ready as I thought I would be. Top of the head, but I'm thankful knowing this now. Back at the eyebrow, because now I can do something about it. Side of the eye, I can say yes to getting ready. Under the eye, I'm actually a little excited to know that I can get ready. Under the nose, that I can do whatever it takes to get to be more of a yes person. On the chin, I'm beginning to realize the value of yes. Collarbone. What would happen if I did say yes? Under the arm. What if I am getting ready? Top of the head. I am getting closer to having that thing. Back at the eyebrow. It's more fun to say yes than I thought. Side of the eye. Perhaps I can try this on a little bit. Under the eye. Maybe I can find something to say yes to. Under the nose. I can take it slow. On the chin. I can get ready. Collarbone. In fact, I've been getting ready. Under the arm. Each day I move closer and closer to a big yes. Top of the head. When I say yes, the universe hears me. Back at the eyebrow. It hears my yes. Side of the eye. I love knowing I'm changing this. Under the eye. It is so much fun knowing I'm getting closer every day. Under the nose. I'm willing to say yes to small steps. Chin. I'm willing to say yes to thinking about it. Collarbone. I'm willing to say yes to small commitments that move me forward. Under the arm. I'm willing to say yes to small changes that add up. Top of the head. I'm finding it surprisingly easy to find ways to say yes just a little bit. Take a breath. Go back and look at that thing that you were saying yes to, that you can't quite say yes full to a 10 just yet, but you can say yes a little bit. Can you feel it more now? Are you more than a 4? Do you feel yourself moving just a little bit? That's what we're playing with. Just these small yeses. So what can you say yes to? What could you find that could move you just a little bit? Let's say you have a task that you want to accomplish. Maybe it's making some phone calls. Maybe it's doing some paperwork or getting a report done or working a little bit on your website or going for a walk even. No matter what that task is, ask yourself, what little piece of it could I say yes to? If it was going out and exercising, maybe starting that, maybe I can say yes to putting on my shoes. And then you go and you do it. So what if you don't leave the house? So what if you sit down and read a book or watch a show? You have said yes to some small part of this. It is not all of it. We're not trying to pretend that that's enough. But saying yes to small parts is what builds momentum. It builds your confidence. It's like priming the pump. It gets you ready for the next yes, for another yes. And every time you say some yes, you can find one small thing and you follow through, your mind is learning how to renegotiate with yourself. So when you're saying, I really don't want to do that, I'm putting it off, you're training your mind to come back at you with a new way of looking at it and saying, hey, is there one little thing that we could say yes to? Could we write it down and at least put our hand on it and say the name of our new website? Could I at least look at it, open it up, and look at the first page of it? Could I find that task that I need to do and at least go and get the papers together and put them in front of me or put them in some place where I'm going to see them? Could I go and find a phone number? Just get the phone number and put it someplace for when I'm ready for that next yes. And so here's how you use this kind of tapping, this yes tapping, is that you do your one little bit, and then you may have to tap again for the next piece. And you get in front of, let's say, I'm just going to use that phone number as an example. You get that phone number out, and now you're tapping again. I don't really want to do this. It's painful. I can't say yes. Whatever your tapping is about that. And then you ask yourself again, what's the smallest piece that I can do around this that I can say yes to? And maybe that piece is just for you to jot down in 5 minutes things you might want to say to this person. A conversation that you want to have, points you want to make, and you're just itemizing those points. And that's all you're doing. You've done the next little piece. Of course, you may have to do the tapping again, and then you might ask yourself, so what's the next piece? Well, you may be really surprised to find out that now that you've broken that down into 2 yeses, your next big piece is, you know what, I am ready to make that phone call because it's now the next easiest thing for me to say yes to. So guys, this is how it happens. You find ways for you to say yes, some small piece that you get to say yes, something that you will take action on, the smallest little piece. And by the way, tapping is you saying yes. Anytime you are willing to tap about your hesitancy or your resistance around something, you are saying yes, and you have to acknowledge that. You get to acknowledge that is something that you are saying yes to. So it's easier than you think. I think you're going to absolutely love it. No, I know you're going to absolutely love how it feels to be able to say yes. You get to change your identity into a person who says yes. I found that is how I view myself in the world right now, is that, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I don't know what that's going to look like, but I do trust that if I say yes, the pieces will come together. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to be guided. Things are going to pop up. People are going to show up. Ideas are going to show up. And eventually, I will get to that. I'm going to tap. That's my other yes. And I'm going to take small actions. And sure enough, I trust that something's going to show up. That's the process. You can do it. All you have to do is say yes to doing this part of it. That's your smallest piece, and you're going to be able to do it. So listen, one of the things I really do is I help people get these kinds of actions going by finding these really small parts. It's what I love to do because I know I came from such a fear base that now I'm able to take action with a lot less fear. Can I tell you that it's absolutely fearless? I wouldn't lie to you that way, but I can tell you that I've learned that I don't have to be an 8 to take action. I can be at a 3 and be able to take action. And these are some of the little guidelines that I use with my coaching clients. So if you're interested in finding out more ways of being able to get into action, then feel free to email me. We can set up a time to talk. I can tell you how we can be helpful. Mary@tapintoaction.com. Love to hear from you. And until next time, say yes and stay brilliant.